Emily Burkhart's reporting tonight on the great lengths scammers go to get your money and personal information. So how do you spot fake rental listings on websites like Craigslist?
And what should you do if you fall for them? Emily joins us now with that part of her investigation. Emily?
Mark Bonita, the expert we spoke with, says you got to do your homework, take your time if you can, and if a listing seems too good to be true, it probably is.
While the problem is very big in bigger cities, we're seeing it trickle across the country.
Melanie McGovern is the communications director for the Better Business Bureau of upstate New York. She says a lot of rental scam complaints they get are different, but there are usually some similarities.
What we were finding were pictures of houses that were on legitimate real estate websites, all of a sudden showing up on other websites as rentals.
McGovern recommends Googling the address or landlord's name to see if it pops up on another site or on the BBB scam tracker. If the listing passes that check, McGovern suggests actually meeting the landlord either in person or virtually.
The biggest red flag we tell people is if the landlord only wants to communicate via text or email. If you say, let's talk on the phone, can we meet somewhere? Can we go see the place? You know, obviously in pandemic times, that's not always an option. But if they don't want to talk to you on the phone, if they're reluctant to give you a lot of information about the place, if they're very eager to rent it to you right away.
When putting down a deposit, avoid using apps like Zelle, Venmo, or PayPal because you probably won't get your money back if it does turn out to be fraud.
If you can use a credit card, do that because there's always that fraud protection. But like with a money order or a Western Union, you're never going to get that money back. If you send a check, you could be compromising your checking account information.
If you do get scammed or give your social security number for a fake application, you can call credit bureaus to put a freeze or lock on your account. But McGovern says keep in mind your social is normally required when applying to legitimate housing.
Applications are very common. Credit checks are very common. Landlords have to protect themselves as well. But before you fill anything out, you have to make sure you know who you're dealing with.
One last tip, McGovern says that landlords and realtors should watermark those photos in the center of the screen. Not the most visually appealing, but that way they can't be copied and cropped out by scammers and used on those sites like Craigslist and Apartment.com. Coming up tonight on My 4 Live at 9 and News Channel 13 Live at 11, what we're hearing from a local police department about this issue. Mark Bonita, back to you.
Thanks, Emily.